Yeah, I'm really excited, and I've been sharing your stuff more and more to hopefully get more people interested. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah,
And I will continue to work as long as I have any strength to make it worth sharing. That's that's the main thing for me.
well,
So what are
and
we
I
talking about today?
today, well, I had a couple things. Um, I'm sure you can help with these. I think the first one is, um, well, I just start here. How do you get around, or how do you go through moments when you try to do your best? And then you're told you're not doing your best and you need to shape up, and then you do, you're trying to do even better, and it's still not enough to someone, and it kind of just feels like they're just putting their problems on you, and you're not sure how to confront that. That was a long
Okay.
question, but
No, 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 I get it. Is this work related?
yeah,
Is this new or has it been ongoing for a while?
I'd say the past 4 months.
Okay. Is the business doing well or just getting by or
Um, Depends on who you ask. So that's also part of the problem.
okay?
So yeah.
Are, are you having to scramble and look for projects, or are you covered up to the point that you don't know where you're going to find people to help do the work, or where you at on that?
We have lots of calls and probably a 30% close rate. Um, like if we got all the jobs that are coming in, we'd be booked for 2 years. Signed deals right now, we have 2 months.
Is
So,
that a new development, or is that the way the business has run all along?
well, it's kind of been how the business has run
Okay.
for a while, but there's been a lot more calls this year. But yeah, I guess it's just I've gotten a little frustrated because I'm kind of like there on. I probably have done like 60% of the work, I would say. Um, if you count in all the problem solving and thinking, like I usually do all of that on the job for everybody because I have like the most skills. So usually
Mhm.
showing people how
Mhm.
to do things and all that. And so the boss usually isn't really there on the job site. He just comes by to check on things. So it's usually me kind of operating everything.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I'm not sure if it's coming from I think it's all coming from fear. Like when people are afraid of something and they see something in you they don't like, they kind of just lash out. And you're like, well, that's not really fair. But I'm trying to figure out how to come to it in a Christian way because I don't want to be angry and let my own frustrations come out on them.
All right, let
But
me stop you right there. Point number one, throw your Christian way out the window. Just to throw it, just wad it up and throw it out the window.
mm,
Why? And you know I belong to the king. You know he owns every bit of me, and he's the reason for all the good that I've ever done or ever will do. And he gets all the glory, the honor, and the praise, right?
yes, yeah.
So why in the heck would I tell you to throw your Christian thing away? Because it's a different mindset.
Mm,
It's a totally different mindset. While the Christian way, I have to do this. I have to put up with this. I have, whoa, 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 whoa. The Bible puts it this way. It is for freedom that Christ set you free. Well, if you're free, then why do you feel so bound up with the I have to, I have to, I have to's?
Mm.
Well, you're saying you can do whatever you want? No, no, not saying that at all. Neither did Paul, Jesus, Peter, or anybody else that wrote a New Testament book. Here's the point. You have to come up with a whole new way of thinking, Tom.
Mm.
When I tried to forgive my ex-wife and the men that she laid with and blah, 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 because it was a Christian thing to do, I couldn't do it.
Mm.
I literally could not do it.
Mm.
When I finally surrendered my ways, my rules, my Christian way that I'd been taught, I had learned, and I had mastered, I was very good at it. Paul puts it this way in 1 Corinthians. If I can speak with the tongue of men and angels and have not love, I'm just a sounding brass, a clanging gong. If I, can do this, and this, if I can raise the dead and don't have love, it profits me nothing. Well, then what in the Sam Hill are you talking about, Paul? Get rid of your Christian way and surrender to the King and say, Master, this pisses me off. This made me mad. You know this is not true. This is not right. What's happening is not right. What shall I do? Now you got to study the word. That's true. But the daily surrender, you will find the right words and the right everything because the Holy Spirit living in you will guide you. Does that mean you won't make no mistakes? No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Peter had the Holy Spirit in him and he still made mistakes all the time. Paul says, I had to stand him up face to face in public because he used to eat with the Gentiles and just relax. And then when certain men came from Jerusalem, from James, in other words, the brother of Jesus, back at the old home church, he started changing the way he acted. He started putting distance between himself and his Gentile brothers and sisters. And Paul said, what are you doing? What are you doing? You've been here for however long he was there. I don't know, weeks, months, whatever. And everything was kosher and cool. Now all of a sudden, because they show up, I can't touch that. They touched it. I can't drink that. They drank
Mm.
it. What is your problem? So you can be filled with the Holy Spirit and still make mistakes. That's number two. In the Christian way, you can't make no mistakes.
Mm.
And you keep grinding yourself into the ground. Oh, I didn't do the Christian thing. What? All right. So
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
am I making sense?
Yeah.
It's not acting like our king. It's following our king and learning how to act like him, why to act like him, and letting him control the outcome. That's the other thing. I do the Christian thing. We've talked about this before.
Hmm.
I do the Christian thing, the right thing. I should get the right results,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. I followed the king. I did the right thing. I did what he would do. I did it the way he would do it. And you still spit in my face. Jesus put it this way. If they hate me, they're going to hate you. And they hated him. If they listen to me, if they love me, they'll listen to you and love you. Why? Because you're following in my steps. You're acting like me. The people that are hungry for me will know that you are in me and they will love what they see. Those that belong to the enemy will know that you belong to me. And no matter what you do, no matter how Christian you are, they're going to despise you. They're going to hate you and they're going to do everything they can against you. If you're just doing it because it's a Christian thing, you will be crushed. You will be
Mm.
broken. If you're following your king, you will be spit on. You will be beaten sometimes. You will be cheated in business deals, but you will never be defeated. Not even in the least. How's that possible? because you're living for things that last forever. They're bound up in fighting over and trying to cheat you out of things that are made of dust.
Hmm.
They're going to burn up, they're going to melt, they're going to rust and fade away anyway. And yet they're putting their eternal souls at risk just to hang on to that.
Mm.
Oof. So on this first one, if this is how it's been, kind is from your boss.
Yeah.
All right. And this has been ongoing for a while now.
Hmm.
Is this how you started your work for him?
No, it just came up at the year end.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why.
Okay. At the year end, he's facing, and I'm not making excuses for anybody,
No, no, no.
but having been a business owner, at the year end, he's facing the reality, no matter what he's told himself, no
Hmm.
matter what the projection on the Excel spreadsheet says, he's facing the reality. You've got taxes to pay, you've got employee, workman's comp things to pay if you haven't been paying all along like you should have. You've got this and this and this. Oh, by the way, your business insurance just went up 24%.
Hmm.
Holy shite. How am I going to handle this? How am I going to do this?
Hmm.
And you've got about 2 months worth of work that you can count on that's signed off on. That's scary.
Hmm.
That's scary. And what can happen, not to lesser men, to men, period, but what can happen is he's come to rely on you, correct?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You're pretty much the ad hoc superintendent on a job.
Hmm.
All right. Now, you may not have enough people to have foreman, general foreman, and then superintendents. But if you've got 5 to 7 guys working under you, and you're the one that on the day to day, all right, it's time to get after it. Hey, no, that doesn't go over there. No, remember, we got to come here. Let's look at the blueprints. You're the guy that's handling the day to day everything.
Hmm.
You're the guy that's making the 811 calls, dial before you dig, that kind of stuff. You're
Yeah.
the one that's handling up on, timesheets, correct?
Hmm.
You're pretty much an ad hoc superintendent. Now, that's fine because you're young and you're getting paid to learn.
Yeah.
All right. I don't mean to bust your bubble, but you're not in any worse of a crucible as far as the pressure than if you were in a big place making 3 times the money.
Hmm.
The pressure you're feeling, not the you're not doing good enough, but just the pressure daily stuff goes with the territory of being a supervisor. So either get used to it or go dip ice cream at Baskin Robbins. A lot less pressure. But he's feeling the pressure. I know he is. I don't even know the man don't have to.
Yeah.
You've only got 2 months worth of work at any point in time laid out that you can count on. And he's got these bills and they're growing because damn insurance keeps going up, up, and up. Ours just did. I was forced into full medical retirement. I'm not able to make the money at all like I used to.
Hmm.
Had it all mapped out where we were going to be just fine with the insurance rates and house insurance and all of that. House insurance went up 24%. That's where that came from.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I said a few other words, but yeah, that'll work. Uh, all right. Why did I go into all of that? Because real good men, real leaders have to rise above and beyond their own emotions. They have to rise beyond, and it's true. There's nothing false about it, but they have to rise beyond. That wasn't right. That's not true. That's not fair. Okay. How you still going to function in this world? Because the world is full of things that aren't right, aren't true, and aren't fair. How are you going to function? I'm going to fight every one of them and right every wrong and make sure everybody tells the truth about me. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. So how do you be a victor? How do you be a winner? How do you be a real good leader? You ready?
Hmm.
One, understand where the pressure and the things may be coming from. It doesn't turn you into a psychoanalyst.
Hmm.
There may be 10 million other things. He may have a relative you don't know about that's sick, that means the world to him, that he's never mentioned. And that's in the back of his mind. His marriage, if he's married, men don't normally talk about it. And that's rightly so. You're not supposed to be talking out of school about a lot of stuff. But she may be yang, 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 yang at him.
Hmm.
I thought we were going to have $185,000 in the bank right now, and we just barely got enough to cover groceries. What the hell are you doing? Why did I marry you? Blah, 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 blah. And then he comes to work, and it just rolls downhill.
Yeah, yeah.
One, understand the potential reasons. And hear what I said. Understand the potential reasons. You are not his shrink. You are not his savior or his God. So you don't know anything. But if you can have a pretty good idea of what might be behind it, what does that do? Well, it gives you a foundation and a wall for it to splash off of.
Mm.
Okay? It don't feel good, but it
Yeah.
hurts a hell of a lot less when you can look at it and go, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes either. She's fat as hell and ugly as can be. So no wonder you're in a bad mood. And I have no idea. His wife may be gorgeous and they may have a phenomenal relationship. I pray that's true. But my point is this: if you know that you are not the reason, then you don't have to take the arrows. They don't have to hit you in the heart and in the mind every day. Now, they may wound you in the arm and they may stick you in the butt as you're walking out the door, but they don't have to hit you where it really hurts. That's number one. Number two, take an honest look at yourself. Are you doing your best?
I've tried. I know I failed a lot.
No, no, no. That's not what I'm asking. Are you doing your best with what you know at this point, at this moment? And you don't know everything, but with what you know as far as how to put things together, how to order, how to do this, how to do that, are you doing your best day by day?
Uh,
Are you giving
most,
him your best?
I try to.
That's not what I'm asking.
I'd say 90% of the time I'm giving my best.
Boom, boom. Don't ever say try to. That little ugly sucker with the pointed green ears was right about one thing. Talking about
Mhm.
Yoda. There
Oh,
is no try.
it's no try. Yeah.
You either do or you don't. And I'm not borrowing from movie lines. Movie lines are borrowing from reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm getting at, Tom, is always be willing and ready to take an honest assessment of yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it.
Yeah.
I I have absolutely no strength. I feel physically like crap 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People ask me with hope in their voice, and I get it. Trust me, I get it because they don't know what to do with a sick friend. They don't know what to do with somebody that's dying on them of stage 4 bone cancer. How you doing? Well, I'm not in near as much pain as I probably will be at some point.
Hmm.
The pain is going to reach a level and a degree because it's eating away at the nerves and everything where I'm going to be pretty much gritting my teeth or shouting.
Mm.
Compared to that, I'm doing pretty good. But I hurt, I ache, I feel like I've got a 103 fever. In other words, how heavy you feel, how achy you feel, every inch of you. And I feel that way 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm.
And it's frustrating. And it's frustrating because people say, well, you look great. Well, hell yeah, I look great. Handsome as hell.
All right.
No, but in their eyes, because I'm a man and I'm
Mm.
not faking it, but as long as I'm able to stand straight and look you in the eye without, doing this because I'm hurting so bad, I'm going to. And that looks good. So I look good.
Mm.
Where's the balance point between being honest with people and saying, I feel like shit,
Yeah.
and not ruining their day needlessly, and not taking on more for myself as far as sympathy or anything else than what I may actually need in the future when I am in agony.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, there are little kids at Shriners Hospitals, Le Bonners, St. Jude's. They're hurting so bad, and there is no medication to help the hurt because of the where the cancer is and how advanced it is.
Yeah.
Compared to them, I'm ready to run a marathon.
Mm.
So I keep those things in mind, and it brings the balance. You've got to do the same thing with yourself. All right. Do not give 100% for him. Give 100% for your future business owner self. Give 100% for your master that gave you the strength to get up, gave you the job to work, and gave you the opportunity to learn far more than you should be learning for free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you were in a big company, construction company, and that kind of stuff, they would protect all of this stuff that you're being asked to take on and learn. They would protect it. They don't want you knowing it because
Mm.
that's competition in the future.
Mm.
And yet you're getting the opportunity to, look at the PNIDs, look at the blueprints, look at this, look at that, make decisions on when to order, how much to order. This is not right. Take it back. Get me what I asked for.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get in a load of lumber that's subpar for what you're needing and you put it in there, that's on you, baby.
Yeah.
That's on you. So you get a load of lumber in, you're 2 days behind schedule already. It comes in and it's got great big old limb knots right at critical. It's going to fall apart. It's going to break.
Yeah.
It's trash. Take pictures of it and send it back. And he's going to say, what are you doing? You're going to ruin my business. Big old knots just almost in half on a 2x6 and that kind of stuff. And it's floor joists on a $400,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
And if he fires you for doing the right thing on that, skip, whistle, and sing your way out the door and go start your own little business or go find somebody else to work for. Because then he's gone from a man that's under pressure to a man that's caved to it and will do whatever it takes to make the money today. And that means that your good name, your reputation, and your character and your integrity mean jack squat nothing to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a job.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for that, but there it is.
Thanks for sharing. I,
And I don't know that that's the way he is. I don't know that at all, of course.
yeah, I think it's primarily all fear driven. Like,
It's all what?
I think all of the shortcomings have come from fear, which
Right.
so
So that's my answer to help you not take on more than you should. You shouldn't take on the weight of what he's throwing.
yeah.
It's not caused by you. It's aimed at you maybe, but it's not caused by you. So just Learn how to let it go. People will say, well, you just got to let it roll off your back. Well, thank you very much. Boy, why didn't I think of that?
Mhm.
But you got to figure out the why first, and the how will come. I just gave you the why. Why do I let this roll off my back? Because I am giving you my absolute best every day. And I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for the client. I'm doing it for myself. And I'm doing it for the king that gave me life, strength, and ability. You just happen to be a recipient of it. And why do I say it that way? Because when you've got a good boss that's treating you right, it's easy to give 100%. When you got a piece of crap, and I'm not saying he's a piece of crap, he's just a guy going through some stuff. But when you've got a piece of crap boss, your motivation for giving 100% was the good boss relationship. You don't
Right.
have that. So what percent do you give now?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Little addendum, and then let's move on to the next. You got a bad boss, and he's been there for 20 years, and you know damn well they're not going to get rid of him. Give 100% to your king. Give 100% to your future self. Learn all that you can while you're there, but look for another job from the very day that you figure out, oh, that's just how this guy operates.
Hmm.
And at some point, calf rope, cut ties, get out of there and do it clean. Don't do it with a flipping off and you're a piece of garbage. Just go.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Um, the next thing I've been thinking about is I've noticed that a lot of times when I'm with people, I act out of the place of hoping for acceptance and approval rather than um I'm not sure how to phrase this exactly, but act because like the words authentic and being a true self are so overused. Um,
But that's what you're coming to, right?
yeah, I guess maybe being genuine.
So what's your question?
My question is, how do you act from a genuine place of love when you're with people rather than trying to seek their acceptance and approval?
Hmm, you are wise beyond your years. All right. First, is that how I operate?
I would say so.
I'm the same way whether I'm with you or a CEO or a cop or whatever. How do you think I do it?
I think I think you do it. I think you do it because you understand what's right and good, and you choose that above all else. But I need to think about it more for a better answer.
By God's grace, that is exactly how I approach every day and every person. All right. How do you be genuine? By the way, audience, none of this was anywhere even close to what he said he might want to talk about a couple of days ago. And that's okay. That's all right. How do you be genuine? You remember what you asked me 2 days ago? You said, hey, let's talk about this. How do I be more present
Hmm.
with the people I'm around? You remember that?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but then I realized I think this was the deeper question.
Well, they're connected.
Okay.
So why Why did you come up with how do you be more present with the people you're around? What's the genesis and the background of that?
Um, I've noticed that I put a filter through a lot of what my thoughts and feelings are in the moment to try to essentially be polite. Um, and it feels artificial, and I'm not really sure how to get through that. So that's what led me to this question of like, am I actually being genuine?
Okay.
And what does that mean? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Because that's totally different from being present.
Hmm.
Totally different. Being present means the phone is down. I'm leaning forward and there is nothing going on except me listening to you. That's being present. That's also being genuine. You cannot be present. It is not a gimmick. It is not a trick. And it is not a skill set, even though there are people making a living teaching folks how to be present. Everybody knows how to be present. Every single human being knows how to be present in the moment. Then why do we have such a challenge with it? Why is it such a problem? Because as we've gotten older, we have forgotten who matters.
Hmm.
You are automatically, you are naturally, and you are fully and rightly present with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
A man that can affect your living for the next 5 years. Tom, I'd like to talk with you. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? And that phone don't mean jack to you, and your friends, hey Tom, don't mean anything to you. It's not okay. Step one, lean forward. Step two, look them in the eye. No, it's natural, Tom. Why? Because at the moment, that dude matters.
Mm-hmm.
A 3 year old is present with everybody. And that's what we're trying to get back to. And that's kind of what the Lord, one of the things the Lord was getting at when he said, uh, except you become like a little child, you won't even see the kingdom of heaven. What do you mean? Well, the adults in the room are very careful about who they give their attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that person, that's the janitor. He does not really matter. Oh, there's Dr. So and so or Senator so and so. What?
Yeah.
A 3 year old goes, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And for that moment, for that instant, that person is their world. And they know it. And it aggravates the old curmudgeons, but that's all right. So, how do you be genuine? You be present. Well, wait a minute. Sure it does. Watch. Do you know that I'm with you, even though we're separated by 1,200 miles?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that when we're on these calls, that you matter to me, period?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because you're very, very present. Well, yeah.
All right. You're young, and that's a phenomenal thing. And part of youth is there's still confusion about if I'm genuine, I can't not say exactly what's in my head all the time. No, wrong, dog off. Woo, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Well, then, am I being fake? It depends. If you're saying that somebody matters more than somebody else, you're being fake.
Hmm.
If everybody in the room matters, if the waiter over there struggling underneath a tray of 24 glasses full of ice water, he matters. The waitress that just got a text and her 3-year-old is throwing up and the babysitter says, I got to go, I got a date, and she's got to have this job because it's got insurance, she matters. And the old couple back there in the corner that they're invited because they're related to so and so who's been a good employee for 37 years, but piss on them, you know? They'll never make us any money. They're not going to go out and market our product or our service and bring in business, so piss on them.
Hmm.
That's phony. That's phony. But whether you are a first year salesman or the CEO of the company, you come into a room and whoever you're next to, and don't, hi, Johnson, head of research. Oh, okay, you're important enough to talk to. That's no, no. Figure in your heart and your mind that every person in that room is worthy of the phone's up, the eyes are straight ahead looking at you. And if I ask you a question, whatever your answer, I'm waiting until you're done. And I'm listening. Hear me now. I am listening for understanding, not for how I'm going to respond.
Hmm.
If you're listening for understanding, you will always have time to respond and you'll do an exponentially better job at responding. That's why when I ask you, why are you asking this question or what brought this on? What am I doing, Tom? Am I looking around the room? Am I popping grapes in my mouth and that kind of stuff? Sorry, I can't resist that. That just ticks me off. And he doesn't care, and that's fine. What am I doing, Tom?
You're paying attention
To who?
to me,
You're on a 1-inch screen. But where am I looking?
right
Right
at
at you.
me. Yeah.
And have you noticed that sometimes there's a 4 to 5 second pause between your very last word and my first one in response?
Hmm.
Well, that's awkward. No, not really. I don't think so. But why do I wait so long sometimes, Tom?
You're thinking about what I just said.
Ah, I want to make sure to the best of my ability. Again, we're human. We're made of dust. We're not perfect. That's later. That's in eternity.
Hmm.
Why'd you say that? Give each other room to be human.
That's a good line.
But to the best of my ability, I'm going, okay, all right. And I'm doing that the whole time you're talking. But in summation, in winding up, in getting ready to respond, okay, I want to make sure that to the best of my ability, I'm understanding what and if possible, why he's saying this. And then I formulate my response. That's part of being present. That is definitely part of being genuine.
Mm.
You see how they're tied together?
Yeah. Hmm.
So I'm being polite. I'm in a room. You know, I can't stand churchites. Can't
Yeah.
stand them.
Hmm.
Cannot stand them. They make me physically ill. And the world's full of them. What do I do? One, I stay out of their place. That would not be a good thing. Because if I go into one of their buildings on a Sunday morning, well, you judgmental son of a bitch. Okay.
Oh.
Guilty as charged, I guess. I don't know. But being honest, if I were to go into one of their buildings on a Sunday morning And I spent 40 years, 39 years. I spent 30, no, 40 full years in the thick of it. I know what they're doing, Tom. I know how they think. I know what their little code words and phrases are.
Mm-hmm.
I know every one of them. Oh, you know what that means? Okay, now we got a label for this sucker. He ain't one of us.
Yeah.
Oh, just that one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Southern chicks. Up north, it's screw you, bitch. Down south, well, bless your heart.
Yeah.
You know, they put
It's
butter and
good.
honey on it and then just hit you with a sledgehammer.
Yep.
Well, church folk do the same thing. My point in all of this is I cannot go to one of their places on a Sunday morning and be genuine without causing them great distress.
Mm.
And that's wrong of me. They have every right to meet behind those doors in those four walls and practice whatever it is they decided following Jesus looks like. Have
Yeah.
at it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
don't you care about their eternal souls? Don't you even start that crap with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been here 14 years and not a damn one of them, not a one has ever come to my front door.
Mm.
Do I judge them for it? No, I'm glad they didn't because I'd have told them how the cow eats cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I'm genuine, Tom, is that I stay out of their hair. I stay out of their little world on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see them on Monday through Saturday, I get to see them as farmers, shopkeepers, hairdressers, mechanics, whatever they are. And that's how we engage. And on the rare, and it's actually kind of sad that it's rare. I mean, I'm in the South where everybody goes charge. They don't, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've only had like 3 people in 14 years, which again is perfectly fine with me. Remember, I went to seminary. I was a missionary for 14 years. I was in the trenches. I thought, these are the trenches, kid. This is where it's real. There's not a damn thing real in those buildings because they can't afford to be real.
Mm.
Hi, this is brother so and so. He is an adulterous son of a bitch that pants hard for everything with a bump on it. That's the honest truth. But nobody's
Mm-hmm.
going to say it. Oh, this is sister so and so. She absolutely hates everybody, gossips through her damn teeth till they about fall out from the backside. But she's ahead of our Sunday school program,
Mm.
and so on and so forth. Because if you're real, you can't stay what you were. That's the point, Tom. If you're real, you cannot stay what you were. So, how are you genuine? You stay out of the places where being fake is expected. Okay. I can't go to a national uh, Republican convention. Same thing. Phony bastards.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go to a church, what they call a church. The church is the ecclesia, the called out. It was never a building. Never, not one time. That's another story for another day. But it's foundational. I can't go. Where else can't I go? I can't go to a hotsy totsy restaurant until November 17th. I brought home 4,300 a week, a lot after taxes. I could afford to go anywhere. So why can't you go to a hotsy totsy restaurant? Because that's phony.
Yeah.
I want the diner where she goes, "Hey, hon, you don't like our biscuits? What's the deal? You need some more coffee, babe?" You know, blah. They're real. They're
Yeah.
honest.
They are. Yeah.
And you can be honest with them. I don't know where you got this foam rubber and called it biscuits, but girl, down home, that would not fly. Really? Well, I'll take it off your bill. What else you want? I'll spend all my check that I can eat my weight in a place like that.
Hmm.
But the maitre d' and the grand dame and the towel over it. Oh, please.
Hmm.
I'm paying all the money to see you people with a hand towel on your arm? No, not going to do it. Stay away from the places where you can't be real. They're not going to miss you,
No.
and you're not going to have to bite your tongue and that kind of stuff. Number two, how do you be genuine? Sometimes you're around people that their ignorance is just, I mean, it's on display. They're proud of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, people from that part of the country, blah, 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 blah. Stay out of their conversations.
Mm.
People of that color, stay out of their conversations. What do you think? I think it's time for me to go. What? And then get up and leave. Don't just call it. The people that can't stand them any more than you can, that don't have the courage to stand up and say, "Shut up," and then walk out on them, they will make note. That's a genuine young man. And he's not rude. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
Hmm. Yeah.
If you're in a situation where somebody is belittling someone else to their face and grinding them into the ground, and you don't take a stand and say, "Hey, aim that at me." Not because you're physically huge and as skilled as Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali or whatever. It's not about the physical altercation, although you may get yourself into one. It is about the fact that, hey, you've chewed on them enough. What's it to you? Well, I'm standing here. Now, I'm built different. I'm built for that. I get that.
Hmm.
But that's where genuine really needs to step forward and say things that aren't comfortable to hear for some people. In a different, did I answer that question? How do you be genuine?
Yeah. Very well.
Being polite, that's not disingenuous. Putting yourself continually in places, in situations, in the company of people, in in the process of their worship or their pastime or whatever, because they're going to act different Monday through Saturday than they are on Sunday. That's just human nature. I don't. That's what scares the hell out of them.
Yeah.
But just don't put yourself in their places. Let them be who they are on Sunday morning
Hmm.
or Wednesday night at the track or whatever without judgment. Now, how are you present in a moment? Again, there is no class. Oh, I know there's classes. I know there's programs. I know there's seminars. And I know there's people making a good living teaching folks how to be present in the moment. Okay, whatever. And I've got a golden bridge out here just a quarter mile down the road that I'll sell you real cheap, $12 million. Trust me. The only thing that's required is to figure out, are they important to you? Do they matter? And that's where following our master changes absolutely everything, Tom. Because every person you come across, even the mouthy people that, you know, that doesn't mean you have to go be around them while they are feeling empowered. Yeah, that
Right.
guy's a son of a bitch. I told him if I ever saw him again, blah. That doesn't mean you got to go stand there and, okay, yeah. No, that's their moment of empowerment. There's
Hmm.
absolutely no strength behind it. Everybody knows that they're an empty windbag. Bless their heart. And I mean that really. Bless their heart. But when that person is sitting over by themselves on a Sunday morning, because for 30 years they used to go to the thing called church and finally got kicked out because even the church folk were like, you know what? Enough. Shut up and get out of here. And they're still hungry for human compassion, human companionship.
Hmm.
Get yourself a cup of coffee, walk on over, be ready for them to say, what the hell? Get out of here. Okay. All right. But walk over and say, hey, mind if I sit with you? No. And you may not get any deep conversation out of them. They may think, oh, I've got fresh meat. Did I tell you about the time I whipped so and so and threatened so and so? Hey, look, here's where I'm going to be genuine with you. I'm not interested in any of that. I think there's a whole lot more to you than your stories. And if and when you ever get to the point where you want to share the real you, I'll come back with another hot cup of coffee. But for now, I'm just going to leave you to yourself. That's being genuine.
Hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I love your little analogies and stories. They're so much
Huh.
fun to listen to.
I, I've lived most of them. That's why they come to mind so easy. Um, when every person matters to you, being present in the moment
Hmm.
is simple, natural, and right. Some people will try to own your time because they are so starved. Hear me. You do not have to be their 7-course meal.
Hmm.
You were present in the moment. Did they take advantage of that presence? Yeah, but it's because they're starved. Does that mean you need to stick around for 3 hours and hear their whole life story twice? No, it doesn't. It means that for the moment, you're right there with them. And when they start going beyond into their whiny or whatever thing, you can break that contact. You do it kindly and you do it quickly, but they matter to you. And when you ask them, how are you? Oh, my lumbago's kicking up and that third toe right there, it's oh, I had an injury in junior high and it's going okay. All right. Um, but you listen for a minute and then you say, well, I hope your third toe, straightens out. All right. I got to go talk to some other people. Take care of yourself and then get the hell out of there. Here's the key. Do not ask somebody how they're doing if you're not ready to hear it. That's phony as hell.
Hmm.
That's standard operating procedure, but that's phony as hell. Do not ask if you're not ready to hear, because you are going to have those, sadly, not that rare occasions where you're going to say, so how are you, man? What is it? What is it? My wife died 3 days ago and I'm fucking lost. I have no idea what to do with myself. I don't even know how to tell anybody. You're going to be spending a little time with him, Tom.
Yeah.
Rightly so. Rightly so. You are not their savior. You are not their God, and you are not their shrink. But you are present in the moment, and the moment is dark, and the moment is deep. and they're lost in it. You stand there in that moment with them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That is where giants dwell. You do that, and you will be more man than most of the conquerors that we read about in the history books. You are not their savior, you are not their God, and you are not their shrink. Never forget that. Never. But when you ask somebody how they're doing and they take you over a cliff because that's exactly where they really are, go over the cliff with them. Well, I've got a meeting in 4 minutes. Not anymore, you don't. This person matters. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
What do you think of what I'm saying?
Um, I think it brings a lot of peace of mind now, knowing better how to act in these occasions.
Well, it's how I act anyway. And it is what I've learned from our King. In those moments and times where I screamed, physically screamed until I had no voice left, I've done the right thing. I'm a preacher and I'm, doing this, doing that. And I didn't cheat on her, blah, blah, blah. And all of this crap still happening to me. I found out later through his word, he was this close, and this close the whole time. He never walked away. He never said, "Well, man, that sucks. I'm sorry that's going on, but I've got a world to help over here. So be warm and filled." He didn't do that. And if the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the Almighty God, the creator of the universe, the sustainer of all things, did not instantly fix everything that was wrong with me, I don't have to feel too bad about not being able to fix everything that's wrong with the people I come across. But I am responsible for when I ask somebody, "How are you?" and they're over a cliff, I'll come over the cliff with you, at least for a little while. There's nobody more powerful than that on this side of forever. Just ask the people that have been over the cliff and found out that they weren't alone, at least for a little while. You treat everybody that way, you'll be one of the best leaders and bosses that has ever lived. Now, you do have to learn from time to time how to cut people off because, again, you've got those that are starved.
Right.
For whatever reasons in their past and their background, they're starved. Legit. So anytime somebody goes, "How are you?" Boy, they just, like a Dementor, they start sucking the soul out of you. You got to cut that off. But that doesn't mean they don't matter anymore. It means that's when you're genuine with them. Well, hold on, Karen. Hold on, Bob. Hold on, Shamika. Whatever their name is. When I came over here and I said, "How are you?" I meant it. You know that. Yeah. This is the third time that you've gone over your lumbago, your dog farts wrong, blah, 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 blah. I can't fix any of that. You got anything else to talk about today? The hell with you, man.
Mm.
You have a good day. And then go on with yourself. You cared, you were present, they were users, you were genuine, they told you to go to hell. You're good, you're done. But don't ever do it out of rudeness. Don't ever go, "Look, this is the third time I've asked you how you're doing. Hey, 8 minutes later, you're doing this." No, 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 no. That's fake. Well, it's not fake. That's childish. And that gives them something to point at. But you go like I just did, like I just exemplified, what are they going to go tell other people? Everybody knows they're that way, Tom. That guy just came over and asked me how I was doing. So I started telling him blah, blah, blah. And after only 3 or 4 minutes, he said this. And inside, even if they're not bold enough to say, well, you know what? I'm going to try that tack next time because I'm sick of you. Inside, they're going to go, good on him. Good on him. Dadgum, we're tired of this.
Mm.
So there's another facet, hopefully, of more powerful living.
I like that line. That's good.
What do you think?
It definitely helped me see it a lot better. I've noticed I've definitely been let them suck the soul out of me more than a few times. And it
But
is,
being genuine does not mean being rude, crude, or willfully short. But it
yeah.
does mean that if that is their MO, you give them a
Mhm.
couple of minutes and then you say, look, sorry, but I've got to go.
Yeah.
I was 100% present with you for 2 minutes, and all you gave me was hot air.
Yeah.
Now, you don't say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been an hour and 14 minutes, my friend. Actually, it's been an hour and 10 minutes because you were 4 minutes late.
Yeah. I was stuck in the bathroom.
Yeah, let's edit this part out. Let's edit this part. You are a phenomenal young man, and you're going to make one hell of a leader. Not because of me, but because of what's already inside your head. You think about things and you question things that 96% of the young people your age don't. But just understand this, the answers are not deep, they're simple.
Mm,
And arriving does not elevate you,
mm,
it gives you a foundation, it gives you solidness. There's a vast difference.
mhm.
I can stand in even now, and I mean, I literally would not last more than about 12, 14 seconds in a fight. And that would be because of skill sets. I
Yeah.
have no strength, none. But I can stand in the presence and in the company of any man on God's green earth, exactly like I'm standing in front of you. That's not arrogance. That's tested, proven, God following manhood. I'm at peace. That's how I'm able to do it. You
Mhm.
see, when when everything relied on how good I played guitar, or how good my hair was, or how fast my car was, or how strong, fast, and badass I was in a fight, the second things change, the engine gets blown, uh, you get old, you get cancer, and all that kind of. If that's all you've relied on, what do you got left? Then you get fearful.
Mhm.
I have no fear of anything or anybody on God's green earth. Why? I can't whip them anymore. I can't. I can't buy it or fix it or anything else anymore. I went from making really good money to zip. I'm bringing in $1,870 a month on Social Security, and 200 of that goes right back out for insurance. So $1,670 a month, and I brought home 4,300 a week. Well, you ought to be able to afford anything. You ought to have $300,000 in the bank. Shut up, asshole. Everything I own is paid for. Everything. And by God's grace, almost everything I own is in fantastic condition. That's where I invested my money. And if
Right.
and as I have to sell something, I will. But I'm confident and I'm comfortable in the presence of any man, from President Trump to whatever. How? because I know who I am, because I know whose I am, and I know what I have waiting for me. So as this tent is being literally eaten alive from the inside, and as my strength and my stamina and my money and everything else goes, all it's doing is bringing me closer to home. And there are men that are still big and broad and strong and can lift the front end of no, they can't. But anyway, they think they can lift the front end of a car. Um, and they're making, 750,000, 2 million, whatever a year. And they're scared to death. They're scared of things that money can't buy, muscles can't whip.
Hmm.
I got nothing left to be scared of. That's a pretty good place to be.
I'd say so.
And even that was a grace from God. It did not come from me because I fought him tooth and toenail. I tried to be strong enough, fast enough, skilled enough, rich enough, cool enough, smart enough, wise enough that I didn't have to face the demon. I didn't have to face the dragon. I didn't have to face whatever in the hell it was I was scared of at the moment. And all that I counted on, all that I worked so hard for, pretty much gone. And I'm more confident and more at peace and more full of joy now than I ever have been in my life. That's a good God. That's a great Savior.
Amen.
And it doesn't take a doctorate in divinity to see it or explain it. Just live it. That's where the power is. And you're well on your way. And that's all I've got.
Well, thank you, Chip. I really value getting to know you and being your friend for these past couple of years. So thank you.
Me too, my friend. Let's see how many more months or years he gives us to do that.
I hope and pray for many more.
We'll find out. What I'm hoping for, and I thank you, I do hear you. I thank you. What I'm hoping for is that every single time we talk, every day that we have to be friends, I live and act and speak in such a way that is worthy of your time. That's
Well,
what I care about.
it always is. It always
Huh?
is. So,
Well, I got to work on chapter two's. Chapter two's, as you know, a very short chapter, but there's some powerful things in there. I asked a young lady from Wales. I'm putting test things out all over the world because I really do want the book to sell. It's going to be my only way of making a living. But I asked her. I sent her a link to the chapter one thing,
could you give me two
and she goes,
seconds?
"Awesome, huh?
Could you give me 2 seconds? I need to get something real quick.
Go, go, go."
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
I drank too much water, but
I get that. Um, but real quick and in closing,
no,
so I
no,
sent
yeah.
I sent the link to the chapter one highlights to that young lady who is a fairly famous author and freelance writer over in Wales. And she was very kind and, you're a very wise man and blah, blah, and all that kind of crap, which I like hearing. Don't get me wrong. And then she said what I was, this is why I send her things. She's not so enamored with this uh, uncle, grandpa, whatever, image that I am, that she doesn't give me honest feedback. Here's what she said. As long as the highlights come across as added insight and not just explaining the chapter, I
Mm,
think you're onto something powerful. As long as the insights or the highlights come across as added insight and not just explaining the book, you're onto something powerful. And
mm.
that's the danger that I face. Well, let me go back over let me explain what you just read. No, no, no. Now, I don't think I did. Matter of fact, I know I didn't. That was false modesty. Um, I didn't do that in chapter one. Those were things that, okay, and I didn't think of that. Oh, that's what. Oh, that's why. And that's what I want to do with every chapter. I want boys, young men, older men, whatever, when they read the book, the story itself, they don't feel alone. This book's alive technology with the video highlights of each chapter. They feel more and more connected. They feel less and less alone. And the QR code to my clone, where you can, ask just like in a text box, what was Tuck thinking, or why is this so important to Travis? And then it gives you an answer.
Mhm.
I want the reader to not just feel engaged, and not in any false AI way, but I want them to feel somebody else gets me. I am not alone.
Yeah.
That's what I want more than anything in the world. That's the legacy I want to leave with the Doorway Buck. And that's why I'm putting all the work into it, even though I feel like sleeping 20 hours a day. That's why I do these. Now, whether they're any good or not, I leave to you and posterity. But I mean, I was wasted. I'm wasted now. But one, I gave my word. Two, I want to do these as long as I've got strength, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to have strength
Mhm.
to do them, and share the little that I've learned in life. I know I come across rough. I am rough. I'm also one of the most refined people you'll ever run into. And that's the dichotomy. That's the how the hell are you so elevated and refined in this way? And yet, hey fucker. I don't know. I don't know. The world that I've worked in, that I started working in when I was a kid, and the world that I've worked in for the last 14 years until the cancer forced me to retire, are rough, rougher than your trades. When you're inside the gate of a refinery or a chemical plant and you're with 1,500 people from all over the world, and 96% of them are male, and they're all, I'm the baddest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. I'm the best welder that ever. I'm the greatest fitter. Jamie, Christmas, how do you guys ever get to your act together and work? I'm one of the ones that they hired. And there's not many of us in the industry. I'm just being dead honest with you. Now, safety was the vehicle. And by God's grace, 2.7 million collective man hours directly under my watch, Tom. Not one recordable injury in 14 years. But safety wasn't the reason I was there. The companies hired me to forge and maintain a culture where everybody, and I'm not joking, where everybody felt seen, everybody felt heard, where foremen treated their men a little better than they did on the job before I got there, where general foremen and superintendents are actually out in the field more instead of just calling from the office and what the hell's going on out there and why is this behind and blah, 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 blah. Because this old man was out there 75, 80% of the time. Hot, cold, freezing, wet. I was out there. And you think they didn't tell him? Damned old safety guys out here all day long, bringing us water and hoses and the fire extinguisher wasn't up to date, and it's 600 yards from the tool trailer to where they were working. And I carried that one back. Hey, my job. I'm the safety consultant manager. It is not my job to touch a thing. I am upper management. I am just below the project manager. Now, in the org chart, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you boys all right? Ah, shit, they brought the wrong rod. What do you need? Well, I need 1611 or 82. I can't remember all the numbers. I'm not a welder. Never did want to be one. Damn sure don't want to start now. But is it something that you got to have a rod slip for? No, it's just structural stuff. But dadgummit, it's a quarter mile back there to the thing. All right, hand me that rod. What are you going to do? I'm going to take this rod back and I'm going to bring you the right rod. You do that for us? Yeah. And you need to start doing it for each other. You do that enough, Tom. Mm-hmm. And then pretty soon I don't have to be everywhere doing everything because I'm just a crazy old safety guy and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, kind of like you. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hey, we need blah, blah. I'll go get it. You never go get anything. I know, but safety guy does it. So shit, I guess I'll do it too. That's what I was hired for 14 years. That's what I love doing. Having a good safety record was an outcome. It was a natural result. If I'd focused on the safety, earplug, earplug, eyeglass, damn, they would have thought of me and treated me the same way they do every other safety person. Shut up, safety queer, get out of here. Not one person, and I'm talking about some bad MMA mothers. I'm talking about former special forces, Marines, ex-cons. Not a one ever said anything even close to like that to me. Now, partly because I would have lit right into them, just, you're going to have to whip my ass because I ain't putting up this crap, But mostly because that man's got our back and that man listens to us. When a foreman, I'm thinking of one of several times on several jobs, but there was a foreman that came to me in Wynnewood back in 2012. And that was a job where the plant killed two of their own in a stupid mistake the night before the actual turnaround got started. We'd been there 5 weeks on pre-down, getting everything ready and, welding up sections of pipe that we knew had to be done and that kind of stuff. And a foreman came up to me in the middle of this hot, deadly job. And he goes, the superintendent is asking us to do things that are they're deadly. They're wrong. We've got the equipment. It's right out there. But the superintendent's trying to be a hero with the project manager, saying, we don't need that. Keep it off rent. Blah, 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 blah. My guys can do it this way. And I said, I got this. And I went to the superintendent and I said, Gerald, he's old and retired now, so it won't matter. Yeah. You got grandkids? What? You got grandkids? Yeah. How old are they? Well, I got 11 of them. Where you want to start? Who's your favorite? All of them. I said, how about I go get all of your grandkids and put them underneath that reboiler that they're trying to put up there without the right equipment and have them stand there until the job's done. Are you crazy? I said, no, but you are, because this is not going to happen again. You go get that son of a bitch and telehandler off of rent. I mean, on rent, put it on rent and utilize it to lift that thing up there. You're right.
Hmm.
Never did know that foreman talked to me. And I didn't come to him as a safety man saying the rules say, because he didn't give a rat's about the rules. I
Right.
don't care about the rules for rules' sake. I think you've learned that.
Yeah.
But when I said, let's take your 11 grandkids that I know that you love more than your own life, and let's put them underneath that 67,000-pound reboiler that you've got 5 good men with families and kids, and at least one of them could wind up dead, if not all of them, the way you're having them do it, just so you can look good on paper. So anyway, that's how I'm genuine. I don't, I got to get off here. I'm about spent.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for those stories. Those are fun to hear. Like your stories.
Yeah, those days are finished. I don't know. I have learned this about our king, and then I got to go. I thought when I was a teenager waiting to get out of the boys' ranch that it was taking forever because I was young and every day lasted 10 years. And I wondered what else could happen in life. And then I got to college and I wasted my time at college. I'll just tell you, I wasted my time at college. And when that started to come to an end, I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And I floundered around for a couple of years. And then I became a missionary teacher, a preacher. And I thought, man, I found my calling. I love this. And I did. I loved every day of it. That came to an end. And I thought, what am I going to do? And then years of marketing and advertising for some of the biggest companies in the world and winning, no, earning. You don't win, you earn. Earning national awards and international awards, intercompany for Behr Paints, but international. Every person that worked for Behr, 70,000 people worldwide, put in for this. And the project that I was brought in to handle up on, the orientation, won 2 international awards, excellence and innovation. And they fought me cats and dogs, tooth and toenail, because they wanted to do Blackboard, which was a big thing back in that day. And I said, no, it won't work. Oh, yes, all of our experts. I said, your experts hate each other. They're about to quit your company. That's why I was brought in, remember?
Hmm.
They don't have the courage to tell you the truth that you can't do with Blackboard what you're needing this to do. You can't, well, you can fire me, but you can't do it with Blackboard. But if you do it this way, it'll work beautifully. We did it that way. It worked beautifully. They got raises, and 2 of them got higher in the company, and blah, blah, blah. That came to an end in 2008. And I spent almost 4 years banging my head against that door because I made $250 an hour just to show up, Tom. I was considered one of the best in the world at what I did. So why wouldn't I keep going back to that door, seeing if it would open back up? It didn't. Um, and then I got the call and I started doing the turnarounds at refineries and chemical plants. And I did that for the last 14 years of my work life. And by God's grace, was considered one of the best in the world at what I did there. That came to an abrupt end November 17th of last year. You know that. I'm not wondering and worried that much about what's going to come next. One, I may be dead in a few months. But two, he has always had the next thing waiting. It is not how hard I pray, how Christian I act. It's who I belong to and how much I trust him. That's how doors open. That's how windows let in the fresh air. I tried to force doors and I tried to force windows and everything else for so long. And God was like, go ahead. I'll stand back here and wait until you're done trying. Are you ready now? And then open the door. So now I just walk up to the door and I go, well, Abba, Father, Papa, is what you have for me on the other side of this? I'll wait until you open the door. Makes life a lot less complicated. And whether I live months or another 10 years, I am working towards, i.e., this book, and this book's alive technology and that kind of stuff, so that I'm doing the most and the best that I know with what I have. Intelligence, experience, skills. I'm doing the best that I know every day to make the most of the time and strength that I do have. And the results are up to him. And that's as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my young friend, God's best. Think the world of you.
You too, Chip. Thanks for everything.
Have a good night.
You too.